Hello, everybody. It's Randy with the Craft Beer Nation. I'm coming back at you again with another review. Tonight, I'm going to be reviewing a beer that I've never had before. I just heard of it maybe 3 weeks ago, and this is D9's Viking Froach. Froach. I don't know how to say that because I don't know how to speak Viking. I know it's a language, but whatever. Viking Froach. And okay, so D9 Brewing is out of Cornelius, North Carolina, and they call themselves D9 because I believe D9 is the grain district from Hunger Games. So it's a cool name for a brewery, right? The grain district. And that's where they come from. And this beer is actually it's not a blended beer, but it's a blended recipe. It's from a 4,000-year-old Viking heather flour ale recipe and an 18th century Scottish ale recipe, and it's spontaneously fermented. So, and it's interesting because on the bottle, you probably, well, I don't know if you can see that, but it says hops, none. So I guess technically it's a Gruit. So nonetheless, let's get it open so I can tell you what it smells like, what it tastes like, and what it rates like. And there's all kind of yeast in the. I don't know if you can see that right there, but there's all kind of yeast in the opening to the bottle right there. So I've seen that happen with some Trillium beers before, but this is my first time ever actually witnessing it. So the beer is still safe to drink, so don't worry about that. So here we go. Dirty Glass Mafia. Long hair don't care. So the beer looks filtered. I mean, it's super clear. Let me try to get some of those bubbles going for you. So the beer is super clear, half finger of head, like a off-white colored. The beer looks almost like an amber reddish color. I don't know if you can yeah, you can see that pretty good on the screen. But yeah, it's a pretty clear beer. Got some carbonation going on in there. Presents well, pretty beer. Let's see what it's like, what it smells like. So absolutely, initially, the smell of bacteria, right? Since it's spontaneously fermented, I don't know exactly what's in it, but you can smell the sour aspect of this beer on the nose. Um, I've only had one other Gruit before, and I can't remember how it was. It was like 3 years ago, so it's going to be interesting to see how this beer with no hops actually tastes. But on the nose, without doubt, you get that characteristic smell of what you would expect from a sour beer. So uh, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what it tastes like. Cheers. Oh wow, that's plenty sour. Absolutely dries out your mouth. The fact that it's a Gruit and there's no hops in it, you don't even miss it because as with most sour ales, maybe with the exception of the beer that Lagunitas has out now, Aunt Sally, with most sour ales, you don't really get the hop presence anyway. So the fact that this beer has no hops in it is not missed. Um, I get I get almost like a cherry flavor in this beer. I don't think that there are cherries in here. My research hasn't lent me to believe that there's cherries in here, but it's like a pitted fruit, like a maybe a sour cherries or sour plums. It's actually quite nice, quite refreshing. And I keep going back because this beer is so dry, like it's drying out my mouth every time I take a sip. Wow. I had tempered expectations for this beer, especially after reading that it didn't have any hops. And I think it's considered to be a Gruit. So I had tempered expectations, as I said earlier, with my previous experience with the Gruit. I didn't work out too well, but this is really good. I'd buy this again for sure. I don't get many notes of the Scottish ale. Maybe a little bit of some caramel notes flickering in the background, but other than that, not so much any heather flowers, not so much Scott ale, Scottish ale, but a whole lot of just straight up sour, not ridiculously sour that's going to make you lock up. You're not going to lock up but nonetheless appropriately sour and delicious. Um, just in comparison to just the sour style, this beer is easily a 4 simply because it's only 5% ABV. It's easy to drink. You're gonna get your sour fix, but sour isn't the only flavor. You get that flicker of caramel, and as I said earlier, you get the cherries or the plums or the faint berry notes that come through. After the sour starts to dissipate a little bit. So, with that said, 4 CBN caps from Randy for the D9 Viking Froach. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace. Remember, subscribe below, like, and comment. See you next time.